So here's how we closed, 2% on the CSI. We're about half of 1%, give or take, from taking out the recent high, which takes us to a 4-year high. IT, healthcare, and consumer staples, as you can see, leading that rally quite substantially. Volumes were also on the heavier side of things to kick off this year. Joining us here on set to talk us through what happened and the outlook for 2026, Hao Hong, Managing Partner and CIO of Lotus Asset Management. Nice to see you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
There's been not that it's happened only yesterday, but there's been a change in market leadership in the Chinese markets. It's onshore that's been taking the helm. What do you think is going on there?
Yeah, well, I think because last year, in 2025, Hong Kong has been doing substantially better than Asia. I think Asia only catch up after November-ish. And also right now, if you look at the leadership in the market, right? So it's on one hand, it's the technology sector that is going on full cylinder, and then at the same time, I think the industrial metals are also doing very, very well as well. So I think many of the industrial names is actually coming back. It's giving people a sense of a cyclical upswing, even though the economic data is not showing it. But I think in the market, the sentiment is back, and people is have the money to spend, and so they're ready to get back to the market.
And do we still need more of the fundamentals to improve for this rally to continue?
I think so. I think right now, the fundamental is still quite weak, right? So we have already hit the peak of the cycle in third quarter 2025. I think people now is looking for policies, and I think in recent days, there's sort of a policy talks from the top. Basically saying that we're gonna support the property market at all costs and all that. So I think people are actually looking forward to the delivery of the policies.
I mean, there are two sides to the policy story. One is on the macro front. One is specifically on specific sectors, right? So whether that's consumption, the extension of subsidies, or calls for financing for tech. Are there specific industries that stand out to you this year that might provide some alpha?
I think, if you look at the 5-year plan, starting this year, basically, top 3 sectors is on the list. The first one is technology. I think the second one is build up the comprehensive industrial system, and then the third one is consumption. I think people should look for clues, from this 5-year plan.
Okay. In terms of AI, though, I mean, it seems like it's the chip makers that's starting the year in a very, very strong way. Do I continue to focus on the hardware? I mean, or do I look at everyone's talking about 2026 as the year of adoption.
Is everyone else?
Everyone else. I mean, where should I lean more towards, or is it all of the above?
No, I think all of the above. I think, the advancement of the hardware actually bring forward, the advancement in software as well. And I think a couple of days ago, DeepSeek actually come out with a new paper, showing a new way to train your models. It's reminiscence of last year this time, right? So it's more or less the same. DeepSeek come up with a new model that is showing huge potential for Chinese techs, and then everything rally for 3 months. I think a similar episode is happening right now, right? So I think DeepSeek is making breakthrough. Many other Chinese AI companies are making breakthrough as well. For example, Baidu's listing is a semiconductor unit. I think late last year, Alibaba is claimed that they make a breakthrough on its LLM models as well. So I think there's just so many things going on, and also if you look at the liquidity in the market, is still positive. It's still rising. Therefore, I think it's conducive for risk taking.
You posted something on X a few days ago, which was, I think, your 2025 calls, and you had AI do a summary of it, right? And I think we made a graphic of that. What did Hao Hong get right in 2025?
I like how you prompted it. You said, famous economist Hao Hong. Humble brag there.
Just in case there's any.
There's probably other Hao Hongs out there, but not any famous economists.
Do you feel the same way about what you got right? Have a look at the list.
Yeah, I think gold and silver is probably my most prominent call last year, right? So I got it exactly right. And I think the trend is still continuing. So I think after consolidation, gold and silver could move substantially higher from here, even higher than last year. Chinese tech had a good year as well, in the sense that for the first 3 quarters, Chinese tech actually took the market leadership. All the way until mid-October, then I think the rally sort of paused a little bit. The yuan, I think, is just phenomenal, right? So despite a background of the second trade war, I think the yuan actually did quite resilient last year and then starting to rise this, into this year. And I think the appreciation of the Chinese yuan's exchange rate could go much further from here. And commodities in general is going through the roof as well.
Do you foresee for the renminbi any pushback from the PBOC? At what point would they might start not liking or at least not tolerating this appreciation?
I think PBOC has been making some sort of gesture that it's not very tolerable of a very fast, rapid pace appreciation, because that could sort of interfere with the policy, the monetary policy domestically, and also sort of hold back some of the strengths that the Chinese exporters has been enjoying in the past years. But I think it's not entirely up to the PBOC anymore, right? So you can see probably the reference rate and the market rate should start to diverge, and also going into the new year, because the Chinese yuan has been sort of undervalued for so long, right? So for the past couple of years, the real effective exchange rate for the Chinese yuan is actually depreciated almost 30%, right? So how could you explain, in the background of very strong Chinese exports, ever rising, Chinese trade surplus, and then the yuan is actually going depreciating in the past couple of years. So I think that sort of lay out a sort of a good foundation for the yuan to appreciate this year.
Anything to avoid?
Anything to avoid. I think in the rising liquidity environment, we love everything. It's just a matter of it's just a matter of who is rising more or less.
Okay.
So I think we still like industrial commodities, gold and silver, Chinese tech and Chinese RMB. I think the trend that is starting late last year will continue well into this year.
All right, Hao Hong. We'll see. We'll have to put everything in for
love everything.
ChatGPT once again at the end of the year. See if you're right. Hao Hong there, managing partner and CIO of Lotus Asset Management.